Attempting to talk about this momentless moment is like whispering in the wind. It's like talking to air. It's a weak try to catch something indescribable. This momentless moment is quick and can't be explained. It's unfathomable. It moves on, shedding the old with every breath, creating new apparent moments with surprises, discoveries, curiousness. This curiosity has no clear source. There are no agendas. This direct moment has no purpose. It is even devoid of meaning, even if it appears to be meaningful. This direct moment is all that there is. There's going to be ideas about what this moment is, but it's usually derived from the past or ideas about the future. In this directness, in this sharpness, there is really nothing that can be known, and there's no need to know anything. And there's this silence that comes with the sound. It's the unfolding story of this very moment. This directness, this radiant moment is always tricky. It's like a puzzle with no answer, a song without a finale. It just keeps on going and going and going. And at the same time, it's not going. It's hard to understand because it's limitless, it's wild, it's free. It's the mystery that's woven through everything, every breath, every step, the sound of the humidifier, the leaves, the noise, the emptiness, the serenity, the chaos, the screams, the inner thoughts. It's in everything. But no one can control this moment. No one knows about this moment. I have no idea what this moment is. But this moment does not have another. It does not have a prior. It does not have a post. Trying to understand just brings confusion. What is this? And seeking knowledge plants seeds of not knowing. In the pursuit of this moment of truth and peace, the mind creates conflict. It creates division. But all of this happens innocently, in a way no one will ever know. And there's nothing that needs to be known. No one knows about this momentless moment. And there's a full admission here that there's no knowing here about this. It can only express it in words, in poetry, in nonsensical, even gibberishness of what can't be caught as something that cannot really be comprehended. No one even can capture a snapshot of this, of the infinite moment, and develop it and claim to know it or proof of this infiniteness. The mystery is whole, cosmic story. Thoughts try to understand it, but end up chopping it into pieces, into segments, into division. They turn reality into fixed ideas, into concepts, into truths, into absolute. But all of these are words that seems to try to capture this momentless moment. Thoughts can't fully get the vastness of this ordinary moment. It struggles with the mystery it represents. It has nothing to do with suppressing thoughts even, or trying to figure out thoughts, because it's just thoughts swirling around thoughts, trying to capture something that is not a thought. This has nothing to do about thoughts. This has nothing to do about ideas. This has nothing to do with comprehension, not symbolisms or any kind of comprehension. Thoughts can't accept the abstract reality without a center. This is centerless. In this directness, in this full on, oh, wow, in this wowness, there's just this ephemeral, fleeting fantasy of something that cannot be caught by the mind. It's so mind-blowing that there is no mind. It's so wow without a wower. Even it appears there's someone saying wow. Again, it cannot be comprehended by thoughts because thoughts are just ideas of thoughts. It's just thought, creating thoughts to maintain a thought about something that is thoughtless. It has nothing to do with trying to do anything. It has nothing to do with the doer, although doing seems to happen. And it's not about knowing this. Knowing actually can become a problem, taking us deeper into the dream of separation. Knowing just creates this division, this acknowledgement that something was comprehended by an individual. But the very individual that seems to know about this is the illusion, is the dream. And the dream and the illusion is inherently whole and complete with this mystery, this mysterious moment, in this appearance, in this reality that has no reality. This infinite momentary mystery. The individual can only exist through thoughts. So the thoughts that seems to try to capture this is an individual thought that has no reality. Caught in separation, individuals are like movements in front of a powerful stillness, the quiet sourcelessness that everything seems to emanate from and inherently whole and complete already. This stillness seemingly erases identity, the past, the future, what seems to be comprehended, all of the wisdom, all of the passed on knowledge, this or that seems to evaporate. It's sometimes scary to think about letting go of being this individual, or maybe not. But there's no individual outside of a thought. It's like letting go of a thought that seemed to have happened earlier. It's just what is appearing as whatever it is. Again, it's scary to let go of the idea and just becoming everything. Although there's no one becoming, it's just be everything. What seems to be hidden appears in everything. So it's not really hidden. It's an open invitation to see through the limitations of the individual trying to get this, trying to understand this, trying to know something that is just so powerfully still already. It's looking for that stillness. It's looking for that peace without a center. It's looking for that wholeness and completeness. It's looking for perfection, but overlooking that it's already perfection. Perfection is looking for perfection, but is blinded with the flaws of illusion. Perfection sees perfection and overlooks it over and over again, going through the flaws in thoughts, the flaws in something that is missing or lacking. But in doing that, the seeming idea of trying to find is actually freedom, unconditional freedom. So unconditional freedom is looking for unconditional freedom, but overlooks the unconditional freedom as it is already. Isn't this everything already? Isn't this unconditional freedom already? Again, in this directness, in the absence of thoughts, in the absence of concepts or ideas, or even non-duality, is anything really missing? If one cannot use thoughts or ideas, is there anything that is lacking? What is looking behind those eyes without thoughts or ideas? What is seen beyond those eyes without thoughts or ideas? So the mystery is looking for the mystery will always end up in mystery. And this mystery is delicious. It's intimate. It's direct. It's not apart from what you are, although there's no you, it's just what is. Even if you forget yourself for a moment, even if there's a moment when there's no thoughts, this momentless moment never really disappears. This is just using different words to shake up that belief system of words and ideas and thoughts and figuring out something that can't be figured out. In this momentless moment, seemingly we're gathered here together for no reason, but reasons will arise. It's like there's something that might be said that might click into this appearance that it's just this. But even saying anything at all seems to confuse or create division of something that does not require any introduction. So what's being expressed here does not require any introduction because it already is. It cannot be comprehended because it already is. It cannot be found because it already is. It cannot be attained because it already is. And that's the hooray, 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 that it's always what it is no matter what. If you have any questions, I'll just keep on going. Please go ahead. And again, thank you so much for coming. Barbara, hello. Hello, Barbara.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm excellent. How about you? Oops.
I'm very good. Uh, I really don't have a question. I just wanted to say hi and tell you how much I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, Barbara. I
That's
appreciate you too for coming.
okay. Okay, that's it. All right.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Oh, no, no. Someone said, sorry, if you want to be here, you don't have to give up your spot. It's okay. There's enough space. The limit that I had in the other ones was 100. So we have a lot of room. So don't worry. And I'll open up the chat. Sorry, I forgot to open up the chat. But thank you.
I don't know how to raise my hand.
Oh, that's okay. Is that Lindsay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
I
don't
just
have to. Yeah. Thank you.
took a wing and I thought, okay, well, let's see if this works. Thank you. That's a beautiful gift that you're giving.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
I wanted to ask a lot of people who are teaching
Mhm.
non-duality and awakening speak about this is it, this is it.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
comes with that seems to be almost a beautiful, joyful expression with that. When I look at this, well, when I experience this moment, if I go within and I feel it, try to experience it,
Mm.
you're saying this is it. Okay, then that's it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not sure if there's something more that people, why and how they're finding this beauty that comes with it. Of course, everything is beautiful, but I'm wondering if I'm missing something because I don't say wow,
Yeah.
not really,
Well, you know what?
honestly.
There's no there, but let's take you there. There's no you to take there. But in this momentless moment, in this directness of it all, even a statement like this is it seems to conclude something, but this has no conclusion. So you're not really missing anything because it's in. So this is it appears in everything. So this is it appears when the moment that you close your eyes, the moment that you breathe, the moment that you move the air, the car. It's always this is it. Everything is this is it. And also this is it even when this is not. So it's actually an incomplete statement saying that this is it. It seemingly creates this idea that someone figured out something.
Mhm.
Yeah. But that's just another idea. So a
So
lot of
people,
teachings and a lot of speaking about this are in the thought level. But what's being expressed here is not about thoughts. It's not about, although it's being expressed in words and everything, it's cutting through that what do you call that? That veil of separation. The veil of separation really is the words and the ideas about the words in silence, in the absence of words, in this directness, for example. These words are appearing with this sound, it's appearing with the silence. And there's really no difference between you and I. There's nothing that I figured out, and there's nothing that you will figure out, and there's nothing that anyone has figured out. And that's the beauty of it, this infinite mystery. this infinite moment of mystery that appears as this situation of trying to figure out something that cannot. So when a speaker or a teacher seems to claim that this is it, it creates a division right away. But the words are, the words and what's being expressed are meaningless. Because kind of like what's being expressed right now, if you cannot use any thoughts, words, or any phrases that anyone has ever mentioned, like this is it, or whatever, what is looking right now?
Feels like my heart is looking.
Yeah. You can say that even if you can't use that heart, because that's a thought as well, or sensations or feelings. What's looking right now? That's a beautiful thing, though. That's okay too. I'm just being super direct right now. I hope that's
So
okay.
what? Yeah, of course. So what's looking?
Yeah. If you
I
can't
don't know.
use words, that's what I'm trying to express. There's this infinite field of I don't know. And everything is allowed to show up. Knowing, not knowing, feelings, not feeling. And in that infinite I don't know, the mystery, basically, everything is allowed. So you're not separate from that. No one is separate from that. There's no one in it, actually. There's no individuals in it. And that's what's being expressed there over and over again. It's quite, it's so direct that it does not require any kind of understanding because it already is, even when it is not. It's so infinite, sorry, it's so intimate that it's not really apart from anything. So there's this wholeness that is appearing around. In this wholeness that's appearing, there's little boxes. There's a little box named Emerson, a little box named Lindsay, and it's not separate at all. Only when thoughts come and say that, well, I think that this is separate, Emerson, what are you talking about? But when that's zapped out completely, when you can't use words or any concepts or any logic, what are you looking at really? Is there anything missing?
No.
Yeah. Is there anything wrong?
No.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah. What is seeking then?
My mind is seeking. my mind is seeking
Yeah.
to conceptualize this and the
Yeah,
meaning
it
of it.
tries to, right? It tries to, but let's go back into that. You know what I'm saying? To that vastness, so to speak, this boundlessness that nothing really matters, nothing really knows, nothing really can be comprehended. Is there even a mind?
No.
Yeah.
There's no mind in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's experienced, but it's not,
Yeah.
it isn't in there. No.
Yes.
No.
And again, in this directness, right? Because people seem to kind of like have this idea about the past and the future and everything. And they go to concepts. According to this speaker, this teacher, this is, let's drop all of that altogether. You know what I'm saying? And just see this innocently without any concepts, without any words. And it does not really require any kind of understanding.
So you can just be.
Yeah. It's just the ordinariness, right? It's the ordinary magic of this existence. No matter what stories might come up, that's it too. Even if doubt comes up, that's it too, right? Because this moment that does not really repeat is beautiful. It doesn't have to be liked. It doesn't have to be accepted, but there's really no one accepting it or rejecting it. It's just this wow appearance of something that is incomprehensible. And then we seem to overlook it. We get jaded by it because we get caught up in the ideas of what this is. And we overlook this radiant whateverness, the I don't know. So we're always stuck in the I know, that we're overlooking the I don't know. The I don't know is looking for the I don't know and is always looking at the I don't know. And the seeming kind of like blinders are the I know.
I see that.
Yeah.
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 So then if a practice can be being in that space,
The practice, there's nothing wrong or right about the practice, but the practice reinforces that there is a space. There's a
oh,
location. Yeah, it's in everything.
right.
Yeah, it's in everything. There's nothing wrong with practice because it also appears in the practice, but it cannot be separated no matter what. So it appears in that moment of complete confusion. It appears in that moment of complete clarity and everything in between. Yeah.
That somehow you said something that I got
Yeah.
in my like,
Yeah.
and I probably re-listened to that because I know that there was something there that was like an awareness that helped me to
Yeah.
kind of burst the bubble.
Yeah.
But you're right. Even in the practice means that there's something outside of not practicing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Again,
Yeah,
any kind of comprehension or trying to get this is just going to the thought level. The thought
right.
level, there's nothing wrong about it, right? But this is just going kind of like completely just directly at it.
Okay.
And in that, everything seems to vanish. The identity, you know what I'm saying? And it's always overlooked that there's really no identity. The identity comes and goes. It's a part of the whole. It's not separate from it. The thoughts are a part of the whole. But the seeming understanding that the thought is it. People don't even know that they're operating from their thoughts. When it's seen that that's transparently empty, meaning all thoughts that will come, keep on coming, are irrelevant. So
Right.
it's not even teaching it. It's just unteaching it, kind of like undoing, unraveling, like peeling the onion of everything that seemingly has been learned, either, from awareness, consciousness, or radical non-duality. It's the same. It becomes a dogma, it becomes a comprehension.
Yeah.
So this is just, kind of like laser sharp, kind of like focusing, although there's no one focusing that, okay, this is already it, meaning that you don't even have to focus because there's no one to focus really, because it's in everything. There's stillness in every move. There's silence in every sound. Everybody's looking for the stillness and the peace, but the peace is in everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Keep on asking questions if you like.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Couple of questions here. And if you want to ask a question, if you can't find just say hello, something like that.
Hello.
Hello. Is that
Hello,
Hadar?
Emerson.
Oh,
Yes, it's
hello.
me.
Hello.
Hello.
We've been trying to
Yeah, finally.
connect. Hello, hooray. It's so good to see
This is
you.
a party, right? This
It
is a
is a
party.
party. It is
Ah,
a party.
yeah, let's party
Yes,
because I see
yeah.
everybody is very serious. I thought it's a
Yeah.
party, so I came in.
It's good to see a party animal.
Yeah. This is what is party,
The what is party, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This is like
Everything is
the
allowed,
party of
no one
what
is
is.
denied.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Doing that, doing everything, jumping,
yeah,
telling stories.
exactly.
Yeah, no
Exactly.
serious. It's no
Yeah,
serious.
it's it it
It's fun.
it's just fun, right? It's just the curiousness, it's the innocence of play, right? So even when
Yeah,
it's serious, it's also
it's really
play, so
like
it's not
childlike.
serious. It is.
No,
It
no.
is. It is just this
And I
wide
was,
eye openness, kind of like, oh, cool.
and I think everybody has it. The kids, we've been, everybody were kids, and it was very natural to react this way.
Oh yeah.
And all the seriousness came after, like it was added on the child, like when the parents said don't talk too much, and don't,
Yeah,
just stay quiet and everything. So this is
that's
like
right.
the
Yeah,
conditioning
it is.
they add on the child, that make the child small, and to keep quiet all this energy that he has.
That's right. There's nothing wrong or right about learning and knowing, but the problem with learning and knowing is because then it knows right or wrong. Then it gets indoctrination of what should be and what shouldn't be. And
Right.
in the seeming process of growing up, then it gets convinced that it should be this way and not that
It
way.
should be
So there's
quiet.
always a
It should be,
division.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when this is just let go by itself,
Yeah.
so all the shyness or the I should, all the what was added on the child is like let
Oh
go,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then there is just
Any seeming
just
any
playful.
seeming pretension seems to, and again, this is just a story of pretension seems to just unravel, right? So it could be the
Mm-hmm.
opposite. It could be someone that's trying too hard to be outgoing that just wants to stay at home.
Right,
It could be,
right.
someone that is completely outspoken, then suddenly become shy, right? Because it has nothing
Yeah,
to say. So it's just the peeling of the seeming onion into this authenticity
yeah.
and seeing
What
the
was added
perfection.
on the character? Yeah,
Yeah,
what was added on the character?
yeah. It's not
Yeah,
about attaining something, it's actually losing everything that
yeah,
you think
yeah.
that you had as an idea, as a concept, as a comprehension. So it's
When
unlearning.
when when they should have, or
Yeah,
I should do that, is left, left, and it just like there is like a natural arising of whatever it is, and this is like playful, this is
it is. Yeah.
yeah,
And that's why I love
it's
these meetings.
nice,
It's just
it's
really playful, nothing really
right.
serious.
No,
There's a breakout
no,
room at the end if people want to drink some
yeah,
tea or drink some beer and hang out, whatever.
cool,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. All right,
It's finally good to meet you, Hadara.
continue.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much
me
for all the
too.
support.
Yeah, there is a lot of support, a lot of love,
Oh,
and
thank you.
yeah, I listened yesterday to your intro for pulling the carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Oh.
was yeah, very very clear message. And I was joking. I was joking. I said, you want to lose everybody? What are you, what what
just
are you doing?
just was just being completely sincere that there's nothing to get, and the
Yeah,
sincerity,
yeah.
is just the sincerity and non-contradictory, right? Because if there's really nothing to get, then there's nothing to seek. But no one ever mentions
It's
it
very
because they're
honest. It's
yeah,
very
it's just very
honest.
honest because they're afraid to lose
Yeah,
their audience.
yeah. But I think we come back because it's really fun to talk about it, and
Yeah.
there is this love
Oh
that's in the
yeah.
middle, this business and love in the middle. So I
That's
think it's
right.
just
Yeah.
the sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just love. It's just this beautiful expression that there's nothing to get and it's okay and it's all right.
And you're
There's
doing an excellent job.
oh, thank you. Thank you. Stop.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Oh, no, but I will not add it to your image, but
Yeah.
I think if I see like a good painting, a very, very high level of, Van Gogh or somebody, it's like very crystal clear way of expressing.
Oh,
So,
thank you. Much
yeah.
appreciated. Thank you so much. We'll talk again soon,
Okay.
Hadar. Thank
All
you.
right. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Indira. Hello, Indira. Hello.
Says on mute. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Hi.
Hi.
I just came in kind of late. I really liked what I heard when you were speaking to the other person before me. So there was like a lot of seeking with the very thing, that has been distracting me for so many years. Just I was seeking, trying to find, but with thought, with identity.
Yeah.
And so it was like a vicious circle,
Yes.
because it's like, for many, like I have, this sounds a weird analogy, but I've been looking for my hair the whole entire time for 20 years, looking everywhere, Course in Miracles, meditation, and it's been right here.
Yes.
And it
Yeah.
was a couple months ago, that turnaround, like the glasses, when I started to look in, it's like, oh wow,
Yeah,
it's right here.
it's right. It's always right here.
And
It
it's
can
so
never
hard.
it can never be lost.
No, absolutely. And I think that's the freedom too, and also the freedom of knowing that I'm not responsible, that there's
Yes.
part of me that's thinking that Indira is responsible for this and that. Of course, responsibility happens when it happens, but
Yeah.
it's like, it kind of like, and then looking behind the fear too. That was another thing that I did a couple months ago, was just looking at the fear
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
seeing behind the fear there was nothing, and actually behind the fear is love. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's funny. It's just, so I've been seeking for a long time with the very thing that was distracting me. And once that was dropped,
Yeah.
then it became easier for me to see as things started to unfold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. It's if you really look at it, you were just really seeking in thoughts.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
And the seeking in thoughts just leads to more thoughts and more thoughts. And then all of a sudden you're believing someone else's thoughts about it. And then someone else's thoughts. And then someone say that this thoughts is better than this thought. I'm in a
Yeah.
course of thoughts now. Right.
And thoughts still happen too. They still
And
happen.
it's not about getting rid of it, because it's just thoughts, right? So it's seeing the irrelevance. What I said in a one-on-one before, it's like we're caught up in the irrelevant thoughts and we are overlooking the most relevant,
Which is right here in front
which
of
is
us.
right here. This momentless moment. Yeah. It's
It's so
always right in
simple.
front. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so simple.
When
But
I
just,
saw, I'm like, oh my goodness, I was caught here, right? Like, and that's all my parameters. So I was like walking around in a jail cell of thoughts, clanging every thoughts, kind of like shouting at other jail cells, what are your thoughts about this? And then all of a sudden, you're like, wait a second, right? Your jail cell, your thoughts, jail cell made of thoughts is in the middle of paradise.
yeah, and there's a difference between thinking and then this.
Yeah.
It's nameless. There's no name
Yes.
for it. And it's
Yes.
so hard to talk about, but it's recognized, like I'm speaking from it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's speaking right now. It's listening right now. Right.
Yeah.
If you what is listening to what is, so it's just listening. But since there's no two, it's just what is.
Yes.
Yeah. What
Sitting.
is speaking to what is, but since there's no two, and it's just speaking, but speaking doesn't really make sense. So it's just what is ing. Yeah, it's really simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duality talking it really dumbs down the experience. Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Couple of questions here. How to deal with physical pain? It just won't let me be okay with this. Pain actually is, and you'll hear this, many people say this, and it's going to be unacceptable. But pain is actually it. It's appearing as this intensity called pain or whatever, discomfort. And the seeming individual tries to create this division, trying to avoid something that's it by creating something that's more pleasant. And there's nothing wrong or right about that. But it overlooks that the pain that's appearing is it. Some could say that it's actually the door to it. I'm not trying to say for people to inflict pain or whatever, or self-inflicted pain to realize this, because that would be horrible. That'll be Christianity or religion, basically. Nothing wrong with it. So dealing with physical pain is it. Trying to get alleviated is it. But pain is also it. It's not about trying to think that by realizing this stillness or peacefulness, that the pain will go away. You can say that it's being at peace with what is, including pain, because pain is also what is. So it's not about trying to release pain or let go of pain. It's the seeing through what seems to be appearing as it, whatever it is. And wanting for it to go away is also it. So it's never not it. Thank you, Gunver. But it creates division. Division for who, though? It's always it. Even the idea of division is it. Yes, only seemingly. Hi, Emerson. Good to see you. Good to see you too. Decisions seem to make the illusion of thought quite real again after our session. Can you say something to that? Yeah. Well, decisions, thoughts seem absolutely real because there's this idea that you are in control. And that's one of the hardest to let go, is the control. Although there's no one controlling or not controlling, decisions just happen. Not even your decision, it's all impersonal. And decisions that seem to appear as this or that, right or wrong, is just the innocence at play of right or wrong. And there's really no one that's doing decisions, even though it appears that someone is deciding to do it. So you can say that it's both. You can say that there seems to be decision making, but there's also no decision maker, which is really confusing on the level of thoughts, in the ideas, on the paradigm, or in the structure of thoughts. There can only be this or that, or decisions or no decisions. So the character, the individual's trying to go for this or that. Why don't you see that it's both? This and not this is also this. There's nothing that's not this. It's always this, no matter what it is. But we'll talk more. We'll talk more. It does feel real. Otherwise, you'd want your money back if the illusion is is second rate. You're like, I want my money back from this. Pain seems to be a powerful diversion, though. Yes, of course. Of course. Of course. I was talking to someone earlier today in one of the meetings, and basically said that when this person was going through severe pain and coupled with a severe depression, basically could not get out of bed. And that's when the person basically realized, not the person, but there's a realization, okay, this severe depression and pain is it. That there's nothing that can be done to undo it, because trying to undo it just perpetuates that there is something that's needed. So the character went on the usual therapy that I'm saying, but had this clarity for quite a while. But the realization from that clarity, and that's why that comment came up earlier, was through that severity of pain coupled with severe depression. So that's when it snapped, basically, that it also kind of like, I kept on having glimpses as well when I was having this, my what do you call it, the hell of seeking, right? I kept on hitting a rock bottom, and I would say, and I would have a glimpse of emptiness and everything, and I would say, I hope it doesn't get any lower than this. So I would question it. Of course, I'll have another rock bottom, and another one, and another one, another one, until it was just so I'm like, okay, I give up, that kind of thing. But no one really gave up. Hey, Maria. Hello. Hello, my friend. How are you doing?
Good. Ish. Yeah.
Ish?
Who knows?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Goodish is it.
Which is it? No, I actually just wanted to comment on what you were just saying, because I have experienced a lot of the rock bottom glimpses.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it seems like the minute I start feeling better,
Yeah,
then the mind comes back and tries to control things, and is like, oh, cool, now that we're better, we're going to make your life amazing.
Yes. It claims it.
So, yeah, exactly. And but it would be really cool to not have to hit rock bottom to have that realization. What
Oh,
is it?
totally.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you.
Oh, okay, I
Thank
think
you, Lindsay. Thank you.
I'm going to mute just a second here. She doesn't know that she's not muted, so go ahead. Sorry, Maria.
No, I think that was kind of it. Just like, it's the kind of pendulum swing and then the tensing against it that is just unbearable.
It's trying to control the pendulum swinging, right?
Yeah.
It's avoiding that. It wants to maintain happiness or something, right? So it's measuring freedom. It's trying to organize freedom, trying to capture freedom according to the individual.
Yeah.
But freedom is the pendulum swinging from good to bad.
Yeah, I mean, so I noticed that over Christmas, I've been like eating really well for the last kind of 3 or 4 months, and
That's
I've really
awesome.
noticed yeah, it's been great. I noticed a real difference in my health.
Yeah.
And I also been doing qigong. I don't know, it's just like I've been feeling much better physically. And then at Christmas, I just ate all the sugar, and and I feel fucking rough. Like,
yeah, of course.
yeah, but that's when the control thing comes in, where it's like I have some brownies sitting in my fridge
Yeah.
and I want to eat them. They're going to make me feel bad. It's just so hard to not believe that I'm going to make that decision and that I'm going to be the one who's strong
Oh,
and not
totally.
eat brownies.
Totally. Right? Because especially when in the face of decision making and everything, right? There is that's when the individual tries to create this division that I am choosing this, and it's just a thought, really. So when the idea that I am choosing this, then it creates this reality now that, well, I chose this. So it overlooks the autonomous thing that happens, basically. And it creates suffering because I should have not chosen that. I should be better than this. Now, you know what I'm saying? I've been eating so well for the past 3-4 months. Now I ate a box of brownies. And then a cycle of trying to control that freedom again, right?
Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
it's hellish, but it's also hellish if I let myself eat the brownie. And
Yeah.
the reason that I don't eat the brownie is because there's the story of having eaten the brownie 2 days ago and feeling like shit now.
Yeah.
So it's like it's almost like holding on to the story to whatever is the thing protecting me from experiencing it again.
But that's the delicious play of duality, isn't it?
I
If
mean,
you know what I'm
it's a
trying to say.
brownie. So
It's a brownie.
but
So there's this. And
No,
it's
no,
not
go
about
ahead.
it's not about trying to figure out which is right or wrong, right? Because it's just an autonomous thing that happens. It's kind of like, you know what? Okay, it's kind of like driving, you know what I'm saying? And there's a left and right turn that you have to do. You're like, if I go left, it's going to be a rocky road. If I turn right, you know what I'm saying? It might be smooth, but I'm not sure. But I'm not going to like it because I like the rocky road. It's not making sense right now. You're not making any choices of left or right turn. It's going to be rocky anyway, or not. So you're trying to place the idea that because of your decision, it will create this future outcome, which is just a thought. Does that make any sense?
But it did, because I ate it.
Yeah.
And now I feel bad.
So if that seems to happen, and throwing it away is also what is.
I want to have my cake and eat it, literally.
Well, this does not give you immunity for stomach rot, right? Because it appears as whatever it is. So it will appear as you doing it, and it will appear you regretting it. It's in everything.
Or not regretting
Or
it.
it also appears as you throwing it away and not regretting it. But either or, none of you, it's I know Gunverse, it's really hard to throw away. I know this because I would have like I would have eaten like a tub of ice cream and there's much left, right? I'm like, I'm gonna feel really sick tomorrow if I eat that, and then I go do it anyway. But somehow the body just goes into a workout mode without even any decision happening.
So yeah, so it's like, interesting.
Yeah, you see what I'm trying to say there? You don't
But
have
what
any
if it
control
does?
of it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So why have a guilt and shame about it when it just happened automatically?
Oh man. And so
Yeah.
the whole game, because I have so much willpower. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, I know you did
But
do
that's
two in this.
but that's just another construct that's trying to claim an
Oh,
individual.
okay.
Ah.
Because it makes me feel like a tiny, tight butthole, like the way that I live. Do you know what I
But that's
mean?
just
Like
the
it's
thought
like,
about it too. Yeah, it's all right. It's just a character, right? The character is free to be what it is. So if it's a tiny butthole, that's what it is.
yeah, but it sucks. It's just not a fun way to live.
Sucks is also it.
Oh,
Yeah. Somehow, you know what, when there's a lot of unraveling, so to speak, right? This character does not seem to be as wild and crazy as before. For example, I would repress myself from not eating any sweets at all. And then, you know, when no one's looking, there's a box of like, you know, like donuts or something, or cinnamon
dude,
rolls, and I'll just eat it all.
dude.
And the next day I'm like almost puking because I ate it all, because it's all of the repression. What you
Yeah,
repress persists, right? So right now there's a healthy dose of gluttony, but there's also a seeming automaticness of taking care of the body the next day, like go for a run. So there's just enjoyment in everything. I don't dwell on it, right? So if I ate a whole box of chocolate, so be it.
but you probably would be less likely to because you're not repressing
Yeah,
craving.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like I'll never have this again, right? I'm a vegan, or I'm living
Oh
on
man.
prana, and this is such a low energy food and everything, right? So there's no
Yeah.
more judgments about what happens. There's no
Yeah.
second guessing. Yeah.
This is going to be me arguing for my suffering. Here we go.
It's the same
But
thing as what you're experiencing, Mary, is the same thing as being or being. It's an oscillation.
yes, totally.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm either following my diet and being
Yeah.
good and getting healthy,
Yeah.
or I've fallen off the wagon and I'm like eating all the chocolate ever.
That's right. Yeah. So when
Yeah.
there's a seeming kind of like, no, non-attachment, because you're not really doing any of it, it's either you eat it all or eat some of it. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, okay, you know what? I got my craving.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It is.
I know. I know. Okay. That's cool.
I can't give you any advice, regardless. You know
No,
what
of
I'm
course you
saying?
can. No. Of course you can. Of course you can. But it's like it's just not really working.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do.
You're trying to negotiate with what already is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the control thing.
It is. It is. It's trying to make those things that are really irrelevant relevant again. It
Yeah.
it wants to have a sequel, so to speak. Rather than kind of
Roughly.
like, rather than this could be like the non-story thing, right? It's kind of like I ate a little bit of it and then I threw it out. End of story. Or I ate the
Yeah.
whole box, I regretted it. End of story too.
Yeah, it is happening more. That like last
Yeah.
night I was freaking out and it just kind of went like thoughts just kind of die
Yeah,
upon
they
arrival.
do. And
Yeah.
the trying to maintain the thoughts creates this division again, right? You're like, what's happening to me now? And then it creates this mountains of a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's just really like a bite. The suppression keeps on creating this mountain out of a bite of chocolate.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's insane.
Yeah.
But what if the doctor was like, if you eat chocolate, you will die?
Then you don't even go near it. But
Yeah.
that's not the situation, I know. But you're making, that's what I'm trying to say, is trying to make an ant hill into a mountain.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
You're
It's
right.
trying to create a
Okay.
trilogy, a saga of me eating this chocolate, when it's just really a short story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a headline. Girl eats
It is,
chocolate.
yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Watch this space.
Yes.
It might happen, it might not. I'm sure everybody's at the edge of their seats. We'll see.
Everything is allowed. Refusing it, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Everything is allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go eat it. Not
Okay.
all of it, but we'll
All
see.
right.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Maria. Hey, Steve. Hi,
Well,
Steve.
hello.
Hello. Long time. It's good
It's
to
been
see
a
you.
while, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I like your
Uh,
channel.
you do. Well, thank you. There's some what? There's some possible issue with the YouTube algorithm going on there, but something that needs looking at. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's very okay.
That's good.
And then I just want to say hi since it's been a while, and
Yeah. It's been a
I've
while.
been watching your changing,
Oh,
and you're wonderfully uh, doing what you're doing, the way that you're doing it.
oh, thank you.
Dif-
Thank you.
Different from when I first met you.
Oh,
Somehow.
wow. I didn't really
Yeah.
notice much difference, to be honest. It's always coming from that place that everything already is.
That's
But
true.
thank you. Yeah, but thank you. Maybe it's just more elaboration, whatever, saying, but thank you.
It's somehow like you talk about freedom. It's freer. It's
Yeah.
freer somehow.
Yeah.
Anyway, the last time we did talk in the distant past was about this changing that continues. That
Yeah.
change, somehow this
Like a deepening, so to speak, right?
yeah
Yeah.
it's hard to describe, yet it somehow happens and it continues, and it wonderfully somehow, for whatever reason, just keeps happening. It's there's talk about not knowing and no
Yeah.
knower,
Yeah.
and at the same time there's this wonderful, often the sense of well-being, just there, just unquestionable,
Yeah.
incomprehensible,
Yeah.
and it just everything's fine. Everything's just
I
always
remember.
okay.
Yeah, I remember our first talk, when everything was not fine, right?
Yeah.
And then that deconstructed. And it will
Yeah.
keep on deconstructing, what I'm saying, whatever seems to appear, right? It's just that this beautiful unfolding. It's like almost the authenticity now is I've been talking to a lot of people that have done one-on-ones maybe in the past year or something, revisiting.
Yeah.
I was meaning
Yeah.
to contact you as well. And it's very similar, right? There's a lot of deepening, a lot of kind of like just appreciation, a lot of almost like a normalcy back into that, in the ordinariness, and just what I keep on hearing is just the a deepening of authenticity and contentment, like a gratitude
Yeah.
almost. Yeah.
That's a good way of saying it. And
Yeah.
at the same time, it's solid.
Yeah.
It's solid in its lack of solidity. There's a solidness to it all, and a wonderful transparency, or
Yeah.
or non-beingness, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that it has the freedom, although it's always been, boundless. There is Yeah, like almost like everything is expanding, like it's just so beautiful, like the expansion of freedom, but it's always been here. It's almost
Yeah.
like going to an optometrist, right? And you think that you see clearly, and they give you another pair of lenses. It's like, how's that? I'm like, oh, much better. It's like
Yeah,
an
it's even
upgrade.
better.
Yeah, it's even better. Yeah.
Yeah,
and and
that
and
does
it's
happen.
and I think what again, there's no cause and effect, but what seems to create this permission is that there's no authority.
Yes.
Yeah. That there's no one in control, that there's no one that you're adhering to. There's no top person. There's no others, really. There's no less or more. Um,
No.
so when I talk to characters and everything, I just see like just unconditional love, or what is appearing, right? So that's basically it. And that's why
Yeah.
there's a lot, I guess, with the one-on-ones is it's just coming from a no place, basically.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
no place. And
Yeah.
at the same time, there is a feeling of place. There's
Simultaneously. Yeah.
somehow,
Yeah.
it's like not, there is an order in the disorder.
Yeah.
We're not running around tripping all the time and falling on our face all the time. Somehow
Yeah. Yeah.
we're able to get around, and stuff happens, and on to the next happening.
Yeah.
And it's just inexplicably
Yeah.
wonderful.
It is. It is. It is. I have
Or
one person that I talked to a year ago, and was very, very clear. You know what I'm saying? It's still very, very clear. And I thought that this person was going to open up a YouTube channel and everything. I talked to this person just a couple of weeks ago and said that, oh, I just love walking now.
oh
That's basically it, just walking. And I love walking now too, more than in the past life, right? Or the past, prior to seeking, prior to
yeah,
whatever. Yeah, it's just this
walking is
enjoyment.
different.
Just walking is
Walking is
different.
different now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Everything is different.
Yeah. That
It
was a year ago, right? A long time ago, Steve.
actually it was 2 years ago this coming March.
Oh, wow. Wow.
We,
That
I
was
did
my very start of speaking, was March.
yeah, I did two long retreats,
Yeah,
and then I disappeared.
that's right.
Well, I should say I was disappearing the whole time,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but I stopped attending the
Yeah,
Zoom meeting.
that's right. Yeah. No need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, we'll chat again soon. Let me help you with your channel if you have some algorithm problems.
Okay.
Saying, because it's just probably like some tweaking or something, some SEO stuff.
Okay. I'll let you know. Thanks a whole lot.
Yeah. It's good to see you,
Good to
Steve.
see you.
Yeah.
And I want to get some lunch.
Okay. Have some lunch.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. GJ. Hello. Oh, I'm not sure if you wanted to speak there. What was the retreat that Steve was talking about? In the beginning, I used to do like 4 days, 5 days events. I'll do it again probably soon, but not right away. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Is it Hadar?
Yep, me
Hello.
again.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi. What's coming up here is the idea of the conditioning of a value.
Yeah.
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 We are so used to the conditioning is so used to think about that things should have value. So it's like almost like programming, that everything have to be a value for me.
Yes.
So this is like the endless seeking, because when I get something that I had a value to it, and then I get it, but there's no more value because I got it.
Yeah.
So continue looking for more value that I will be satisfied.
Exactly.
And yeah, and we never get it really. This satisfaction. So we're looking for the value all the time, and then we forget looking for the value. We don't see what there is already.
Yes.
So when the idea of a value is dropping, then like we don't have to have value to things. Like it doesn't we don't have to think about things as a value for us. So then everything what's everything is already beautiful without value.
Yes. Yeah. That's what it is, right? So kind of like what I was saying in the introduction, right? There's this momentless moment that doesn't really have any value, doesn't really have any purpose.
Yeah.
So we look for value in that moment, and we overlook the valuelessness, meaning
Yeah.
the completeness of everything. Because the moment that you put value, then it creates a division, that something has less and
Exactly.
something has more. So the individuals tend to create this diversion of something that is already complete.
And it's almost hiding behind it because it's like a programming. I don't know, it's so funny.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's we are so programmed to see the world with value, like it's have to be a feedback of value to us, and we just caught up into it. And then when and
Yeah.
there is
Well,
like another thought said we don't have to look at the world with value.
yeah.
And so then it's like, whoa, everything is
Yeah.
already there.
Totally. Like in a dream at night, right? There's always a clue there. Every night, if we dream at night, in the nighttime dream, there is a valueless, there's a momentless moment there that appears that does not really have any value. So it's easier to let that slip away, even it felt like there was a
Yeah.
lot of value in that because it was already seen as fleeting. But when we are in this daydream, so to speak, this is also a dream,
Mm-hmm.
we tend to think that we have to create value, and then we get
Gain
caught up,
something.
to gain something or to hold on to something. So we're trying
Yeah.
to hold on. That's also like a fleeting appearance, just like the nighttime dream,
Mm,
because we
yeah.
think we have control. We put value to kind of like to reinforce that we have control.
Right. It's like like a play of a value, but this is also what's happening. This play is also that.
It's an
But
innocent play, right? So even if there's getting
yeah,
stuck in the idea that that there's value or no value, it's all the same.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's all the same until
Yeah.
it's revealed that there is, there's no really value. But
Yeah.
it's funny.
Value or no value, simultaneously the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But when the idea of value drops, then it's like it looks. This is the wow, like
Yeah.
how I could not see all of that, So
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
it's
when
fun.
there's no more value in the seeking, then it
Yeah.
sees what it's been overlooking, because the seeking creates this diversion that something needs to happen, something has to deconstruct, there has to be contraction, decontraction of an energy and openness. All of that
Yeah.
seeming idea
Mm.
seems to just, it's the value basically is just a thought level.
Yeah.
Without any thoughts, there's no such thing as value.
No. Mm. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All these talk about sugar in the chat. Oh, Gunver, hello.
Hi, Emerson.
Hello, Merry
Hi.
Christmas, Happy New Year.
You too. Happy New Year. I want to ask something because I just heard you talk about dreaming.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
I heard someone say the other day that who says we're dreaming at night? Isn't that just also another word, another idea?
It is,
And
yeah.
the waking up saying we're in a daydream,
Yeah.
it's also just an idea
It's
that
just
there's
another
actually no
idea.
dreaming.
Yeah. There's no
Is that
dreaming,
so?
there's no, it is. It's just again to put into words something that cannot really be fully be expressed. So to be able to, it's almost like uprooting the story that it's a story by using stories, although everything is a story. So it's just basically flattening all ideas and saying that it's all illusion, right? So nighttime dreaming, no dreaming is all the same. It's all just it's just trying to explain something that cannot be explained.
Well, we believe we're dreaming because we're using this idea that we have dreams at night.
But
and
even
then when we wake up,
yeah, but the analogy of dream actually is quite good because it's a better way of saying it's all an illusion because it's something that's relatable. So for example, when you're dreaming at night, then even the belief in the dream is just a dream, meaning that there's really no belief. It's basically saying that this is all a dream. It's all an illusion.
and also not
It's
a dream.
all a story and also not a dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we're just swimming in words when this is the wordless, basically. Yeah. Someone can also say that this is just all air. Someone can come up with a concept, another concept. You know, it's all conceptual. Dream, no dream. Illusion, no illusion.
Yeah, but let's say there's a strong idea here due to conditioning, maybe.
Yeah,
that
sure.
I would have been dreaming at night, and then
Yeah.
in the daytime I would be awake.
Yeah.
And that's quite a solid belief.
Yeah.
In people.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Again,
So
it's just pointing out that even this is no reality. It's like a dream, basically. And by using the nighttime as an example, as a dream that seems like real, then it kind of like also shows that this is similar. It's all the same. It's all an illusion. It's all a construct. It's all made up. And you can use any word. Somebody will say that it's a simulation. Someone will say that it's holographic. Someone will say that this is all Maya, you know, like in the thing. So any kind of, even the conclusion that it's saying it's an illusion, it's a dream, it's just another construct, isn't it? Because who would know?
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's no one dreaming.
There's no one dreaming, yeah. There's no one dreaming. There's no one knowing.
There's just an idea that we are dreaming and
dreaming
dreaming
but we can only communicate in ideas.
Yeah.
Because the idea will only come up with more ideas. But since we're just an idea, there's really no idea of what this is. That's why it's always mentioned that it's unknowable, unthinkable. And then someone will say it's like a dream. Or someone will say it's an illusion. Or someone will say it's nothing. Or someone will say it's awareness. Someone will say it's consciousness. So it's just putting all of that in and basically looking at it as equally just all made up. That's why I've been changing. Yeah.
In the dream, we believe we're dreaming at night.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which so I find it a very poor analogy.
It is. It is.
In a way.
Yeah. It
because
is.
we are very fixed in the idea that we are dreaming at night.
It is. Yeah. But it's also a good analogy because, you know, it pulls the rug basically when say that this is like that, because you believe that this is completely real as well. Kind of like you believe that you dream at night. So really the common thing is that there's just a belief system of either a belief or a non-belief. It's basically all thoughts.
Okay, so that's clear. Mm-hmm. So how to see that clearly?
To see that clearly is the absence of everything.
Yes, but how to do that?
It's
how
not
to
about
cut.
doing. It's not about doing. It's seeing that.
No, doing is a
Yeah.
bad word, but how
Yeah.
to how to
How to
how
realize that.
to yeah.
But the kind of like what I always say, you know what, who's talking right now? And then you keep on going back into thoughts, into thoughts, into thoughts. So it all just leads back into thoughts, which are all empty, basically. For example, if you say it's a dream, I'm like, that's just a thought. And somebody will say it's an illusion. That's just a thought. So all that we have, really, all the characters have is the whole structure of a character is just based on thoughts. Any knowledge, any knowing, any conclusion, any truth is just a thought.
I hate you and I love you. I don't know.
I
you
know.
Oh,
And it's
It's
okay.
not-
It's all right. It's better
Mm.
than believing, right? Of what I say. It's not about anything that I say, really. It's the
no, I don't believe what
transparency
you
of it.
say.
Good.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really don't, because it's kind
Yeah.
of like it's not believable in the sense the
No.
way that you communicate it. It's not believable.
No, it's not at all. Not at all.
It's not
Because
like you're trying. It's not like you're trying to tell me a story or something. You know,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
not believable the way you communicate.
Yeah.
It really
Yes.
it tears that apart. You know.
It does, yeah. Because it leads to questioning, right? It leads to, and if you question it, it will just lead to more thoughts.
Yeah.
It's just basically circling in thoughts
Yeah.
and thoughts and thoughts, right? So that's the whole construct. It's just all a thought level. So all teachings, all speaking is just
Yeah.
thoughts,
No,
basically,
yeah,
about it.
that's the difference between the seeking and the non-seeking, because in
Yeah.
the seeking, you will question what's being said,
Yeah.
and you will contemplate it, and you will try to figure out what the heck the
Exactly.
teacher was saying.
Yeah.
But here's no listening in that kind of way. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
would not have found you, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
it would not have come to this place. Then I would
Yeah.
still be stuck in the, let's
Yeah.
say, neurotic seeking
The
or whatever.
neurotic seeking, yeah. So
Yeah.
this is just kind of like what I say. This is just like a play, right?
Mhm.
This is just a play. This is just a play of words.
Yeah.
And clearly saying that there's nothing that I will say that will make sense. It's not in what I say. It's not about trying to make sense in what I say. Kind of like in my opening, right? This momentless moment is just a whisper of something that cannot
Yeah.
be expressed, right? And then we try to express it as dream, as illusion, saying as nothing, as awareness, as God, as everything, right? And everybody will have their conviction. So this is basically saying that the conviction is also just an appearance of something that's no one is sure about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way you're expressing is just pure creativity somehow.
It
Like
is.
just
It
true
is.
creativity. It's like
It
it
is.
has
Yeah.
nothing to do with trying
Yeah.
to get away with anything.
Yeah. And this is full admission. When I was teaching, when I was in spirituality, although midway through it, I felt like it was all lies. You know what I'm saying? I was keeping up the lie.
Yeah.
Because like with more inquiry into things and everything, you're like, well, that's just a belief system, right? But sometimes you maintain the lie. When I started speaking, this is more radical honesty, right? There's just, I don't have any more it's just pure sincerity. You know what I'm saying? If there's something that I could give, yeah.
Yeah. Because the other side of that, you being the teacher, when you were teaching and you realized that it was all just a lie, like it.
Yeah.
The other side of that is the student that also realized it is all a lie.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what happened here. Like you realize you're just sitting there pretending something.
Yeah. So this is just a full-on admission. It's like almost like exposing it. This is just an exposure of the seeming kind of like lies that seem to create this delusion that there's something to get, there's something to drop, there's a contractedness, there's whatever seems to appear as held on to as truths, right? So I deconstruct it, and by saying that it's just a thought.
And how can that then be realized? That directness in the speaking,
it cannot be realized really by thought. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
So
because it already is realized without thought. Meaning that in complete silence, when you're not using thoughts or ideas and everything, it's clear already of what is. When the thoughts come in again, and we create this comprehension or confusion or whatever, or this seeking, if you're still seeking and everything, right? Of what's being said. Yeah.
Yeah, but in that directness,
Mhm.
these are not the right words. What's coming now?
Yeah.
But in that directness,
Yeah.
where can this seeming character here find that where can that directness be united with directness in this
not
listening?
in the words, in the admission that the words are flawed, in the admission that the thoughts are not real, in the sincerity that there's nothing that can be gotten, in the full admission that there's nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? Not giving any carrots anymore. Like if you were here the last meeting, I basically told everybody to stop seeking. There's nothing to get, you know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah,
just that
yeah.
honesty, right? You know what I'm saying? That sincerity. And if people are having any problems with seeking and everything, there's a lot of compassion here just to talk to that character. There's no one trapped here in any kind of authority. There's no one here that is following someone's teachings and everything.
No.
So that's a breaking away from all of that.
Yeah.
And then when I see some characters that are suffering and seeking, there is a seeming reaching out. You know what I'm saying? And like what
But the
happened with you. Yeah.
Yeah, but the seeking stopped.
That's
So
right.
I'm
Yeah.
not in the seeking. So here
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
in that realization
Yeah.
without being that realization.
Yeah. That's right.
Without
Yeah.
having the understanding of that realization.
And that's
So
perfect. That's what I'm trying to say. It's done already. It's perfect. It's not about understanding it or trying to figure out what I'm being said. Here, there's an admission that there's no idea of what is happening, and everybody will say that in some context, right? Somebody will say in a meeting that this is all meaningless, but there is a construct but this is what's meaningful.
But do you hear what I'm trying to do here?
Yeah.
That I'm trying to there's something pushing for something.
Yeah.
Somehow,
And that's
somehow
just
like
that's just that that's just also what is trying to figure out something that cannot be figured out. The seeking is gone for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying, but it's trying to push through something of how did you come up with this, basically.
yeah.
And there's going to be an admission here that I did not, you know what I'm saying. There's just this undeniable, unmistakable clarity, but I can't express it in words. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's why it's not going to make sense. There's just a contentment, so to speak, kind of like what Steve was saying earlier. Like after a year of this, there is just almost like a resignation, like almost like a gratitude, right? In the initial, stages of it, there's always trying to grasp it or trying to figure out things and trying to find holes in everything as a whole in speaking and talking and everything, right? But there's an admission here that there's always going to be lots of contradictions, so to speak. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love you. I know.
Love you too. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Me. Oh, there's Maria and then William. Hello, Maria.
William can go first. I've had a lot of airtime.
Okay, okay. Hi, William.
Hi.
Hello.
So, silence,
Yeah.
nothing, absence,
Mm.
being, something happening, another thought, another thought, another thought.
Mm-hmm.
Alive? How do you talk about just right now?
Yeah.
It's a concept. It is,
Yeah.
However, I feel alive. I'm here.
Yeah.
Here is another concept, but I know something right now.
Yeah. But who knows
aside
that?
from all the thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So there's feeling, but
Yeah.
what is that? There's
Yeah.
being, but what is that? There's seeing, but what is that? There's
Yeah.
all those are thoughts about.
Yeah.
So scrape all that away.
Yeah. In this directness,
What's left?
right? This.
And what's left?
Yeah.
And I call it silence. But
Yeah.
that's the concept about it.
You can call
It's
it
the
anything. You know
different-
what I'm saying? Yeah. But go ahead. Sorry.
Well, even the word I'm aware, that has so many different meanings, that concept, awareness, or is it aware, or is there just aliveness? So nothing I have to do, but that's doesn't matter anyway. So I see images, or there's something going on in here, and I put words, thoughts to it. And when I don't put thoughts to it, it feels silent.
Yeah.
And I love listening to you, but that's just, it distracts me. And now I can.
Yeah.
It's the in and outness of nothing in words, concepts, back and forth, now, now. And yet I make it into a concept. So I don't have really anything to add.
Yeah.
But
Beautiful.
I do I enjoy the moment with you, and I get something, but I get nothing, that's something, but what it is, I feel alive. I enjoy it. I appreciate it. I love feeling those. I love those concepts: gratitude, appreciation, joy. And I know if they're just concept, but something beyond it, something before. I think that's what there's just the creation before the concept. That's that. It's like, gotta hurry because it's already got past and gone. But the now, there's always the now.
Yeah.
It's always the now.
The infinite looping now.
Yeah. So I just love it. Okay. I just want to kind of touch your space of nothing.
I make a lot of noise about silence.
Thank you. I just wanted to say this.
Yeah, that's it. In this directness, in the absence of any ideas, any thoughts, any concepts, even the idea of absence, there's this pristineness. There is this seemingly overflowing silence that all encompasses everything, that cannot be denied, cannot be accepted at the same time, because it always is here. It's regardless of what you think or not think. It's despite any kind of comprehension. It's innocent. So innocence is looking for innocence, and is using knowledge to find this innocence. But knowledge evaporates in the sea of innocence.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maria.
That was really lovely. Thanks, William.
Yeah, thanks, William.
Yeah, I just like floated around with you guys. As Gunvor was talking, I don't even really remember what she said, but about what I want to say, but it seems like in the seeking energy, there's a drilling, like when I'm listening to this off and there's like releases.
Yeah.
It's like there's a belief that those releases are like important, and that there is, and that like the more I release, and when I do self-inquiry, it's like, because it feels dope, but it's like there's no one to believe certain thoughts more than other thoughts.
Yeah.
So like, because there's a whole thing about like, well, I just have this belief system about this and this trauma, and if I need to like uncover it and pull it apart so that I don't believe it as much. But like, it's almost like now it's like a further back step where it's like
it's almost like stepping back and seeing the whole painting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you get caught up in the little corner there thinking that how does he know this, or how does it think? When you step back a little bit, you're like, okay, the painting is just made up. You know what I'm saying? It's this masterpiece, and there's a getting caught up in looking at one thing. It's kind of like what William was doing, where he goes, okay, stop talking, basically. You know what I'm saying? Let me see this whole picture and everything, right? Because there's a lot of kind of like, if somebody's focusing on what I'm trying to say, which I always say, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing that I can say to clear this up, because it's just all of this is just noise, basically, and trying to express silence. So when there is a seemingly seeing the completeness of the silence, and the meaning, it's I'm talking about something that I can't talk about, but I don't need to talk about it because it's already evident.
Yeah.
It's in between the words, it's in the words, it's in the it's in the admission that it's not in the words. It's even in the what seeming people might see as a confidence in the delivering these sayings and everything, right? It's in all of that. It's the whole package.
But you could be telling us how to make a pizza, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'm
And
trying to
like,
make a pizza and you're just listening to my words and you're not looking at the whole preparation thing and everything. Something's always something's always going to be missed. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, with trying to comprehend this, people tend to just focus on the words that's being said. And I've done enough one-on-ones, and it's always like, there was something that you said, you know, that I'm like, no, it's actually not. Right? It's yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm saying that is really clear. Right?
Yeah. It's so wild. That is so wild.
It's wild. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so wild that there's this view that yeah, it's wild. Okay. And I guess yeah, I'm just like in like a sweet place now. All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. How was the other meetings earlier? It was hectic because there's a lot more people. So the questions but it's the same question and over again. It's harder for some newer seekers to comprehend that there's nothing to comprehend. So I can repeat it over and over again, that it's not what's being said. So they try to conceptualize it. And there's a lot of questions about practice, a lot of questions about karma, a lot of practice, still in the spiritual realm, a lot of question about how do I find my true self? How do I find my whatever? Yeah. So it's they have no idea what a me or no me is. They don't have any idea what contracted energy is. So yeah, it's quite fascinating. There's a couple of questions here, sorry, that I forgot to questions here, sorry. Okay, here. Brownies. It seems like I am pretty clear, in quotes. I have been practicing self-inquiry. I know the I experience. space-like quality within my body, and I also notice my thoughts and feelings as they arise often. I've yet to know the experience of I as identified as awakening teachers. I know this is all unfolding as it is, but do you have advice for us that what to do open my understanding? Thank you. It's actually a loss of all of that, even any understanding. It's the loss of everything seemingly, right? Because when there is just a pretty clear understanding of what it is, which is also it, by the way, you know what I'm saying? It's still in the realm of thoughts, although there's nothing wrong or right about that, right? But what's being talked about here is the dropping away of everything, seemingly, although there's nothing to drop. There is this um never ending unfolding authenticity of what is. There is this unconditional freedom without any kind of practice anymore, right? So it goes back into to its normalcy, this innocence and everything. Again, there's nothing wrong or right about doing any kind of practices. If it feels good, gives you that space like a quality, why not? You know what I'm saying? Um, um, but yeah, no advice really. It is what it is, whatever it is. It's just an unfolding. So that might seem to unfold. It's like a peeling of the onions until there's just this radiant emptiness that I can't even talk about, to be honest. But that's beautiful. Thank you. Maybe a pain is a reminder that this is never going to be what I want or I don't want. It's not even a reminder. It is what it is. Or you can also say that if you like, you know what I'm saying? But trying to put any meanings on it defeats the purpose that there's no meaning in everything that appears, because it appears as a full expression of what is. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Perhaps the Lord is just this. There's no separation. So to think that there's a shepherd and you're a sheep and everything is just this divisive idea of something that is already inherently complete. But there's nothing wrong with that idea as well. Emerson, you have no idea what you are doing, but this doing is indescribable and unimaginable, undeniable love. Thank you. So stop being hung up on seeking, and I'm already everything that I am. So what is the process of recognizing my awakeness? It's already awake, but not as an individual awakening. When the individual dissolves, then there's just this awakeness. But there's no individual to dissolve, is what I'm trying to say too, right? So it's just, so when the thought of seeking in thoughts seems to be seen as just a futile attempt to figure out in thoughts what can't be figured out in thoughts, is the clarity that there's nothing to figure out. So anything might arise in this clarity, including seeking or not seeking. Everything is allowed, nothing is denied, basically. It's so slippery. Hey, Emerson, you say it's not in the words that you say, but if you said popcorn over and over, I'd be clueless. I mean, it seems there is some level of maybe called intuitive understanding of the words you say. Like if you just sat there and said nothing for 2 hours, I doubt most people would get it. Maybe some would, who knows? Of course, in the story, there's going to be, a choice of words that are seemingly appearing and everything. But that's just another story again, right? In the story, there is a narrative of basically having a knowledge of what's being talked about and not just talk about popcorn or whatever. But it's not in the words as well, right? Because it's the story is trying to maintain the story when there's really no story. And that's hard to express in non-story. So the story is going to undo the story that there's no story by telling a story, because that's all it can operate from. But when it's seen that everything is just a story, it does not really matter that in the words and everything, when it breaks that story seemingly like, okay, it's not in the story, it's in everything. It's in the air, it's in the feelings, it's in the thoughts, it's in the rejection, it's in the acceptance, it's in everything. So the story is not stuck circling around the story of me. It's just seeing everything as the story breaks and everything is just what's being overlooked is what cannot be told, what cannot be said, what cannot be mentioned. So what cannot be mentioned sees what cannot be mentioned. There's no more middleman. There's no more barrier. It's just what it is. I hope that answers that. But we can talk again. We have to do a one-on-one. I'll message you. I did have a good Christmas. Lots of food. And I've been really busy. Sorry if I'm not getting back to anyone's emails or something. It's been really busy.
Emerson,
Oh, hi. Hello.
hi. I just want to add another thing to
Yeah, for
what you
sure.
said, and no one is doing it.
Yeah.
There's there is the stories and everything, but no one is doing it.
Yeah.
So this is what is beautiful. Whatever
It is beautiful.
whatever
You could
appearing,
also add no one's doing it, but even it appears if someone's doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it can't.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
never, there's nothing wrong. You cannot go wrong with anything.
That exactly. It's like it's speaking about this. No one can do wrong or right. It's just speaking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So being worried,
Yeah.
not understanding this,
Yeah.
so looking for it, everything is this.
Yeah. Everything is a
So
seeming response when there's no response that's needed.
even if when the stories are made,
Yeah.
and we are caught up in the stories,
Yeah.
it's not, nobody's doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It is. It is. This autonomousness of whatever it is. Thank you, Hadar.
This is freedom. Yeah.
It's freedom. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm.
Are you going to continue the Friday meetings? I might. Do you guys like the schedule better than Sunday? Or should I have Sunday and Friday? Sunday is
Yes.
better?
Sunday and Friday.
Sunday and Friday. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not muted. Okay. Sorry. Sorry.
That's
Just want
okay.
2 meetings.
That's okay. It's also kind of like, someone was basically asking, it's also kind of like almost like a retirement home for seekers, people that wants to hang out, and just retiring the seeking. This is a place for that too. And just to chat about something, I don't know. There's nothing wrong or right about climate change. It's just what is, right? So the unstuckness or getting stuck in the idea that there's something wrong or right creates a position. Again, there's nothing wrong or right about a position. The position could be, it creates an us and them. So when that division is seen as just this transparently, it's just what is. So wrong and right is what is. Climate change, no climate change is what is. Oh, sorry, I didn't ask you a question there. I got a lot of question. Sorry. Where is it? Can you type it again? I think I missed it. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Not on purpose. I just got so many different questions. And I did not see how to deal with fear. I am as afraid of life as I am of death. I am armored. When I try to let down my armor and just be with what is, I can't because I don't want this life. It's ugly. I'm afraid of it. I don't see the light. I see only darkness, pain, and so much suffering. So my whole life, I am guarded against the reality of this. When I start to let down my guard, it is very painful and fearful, and I don't trust that life will have my back. I wish that we can give you a group hug.
Group hug.
Group hug. Group hug. This is not going to be the basically the deepest fear that one can seemingly harbor. It's not even the dread of death, but it's actually the fear of existence, the fear of what is, the fear of the unknown, the fear of truly living, the fear of embracing what is liked and what is not liked. It's the embrace of the raw and the untamed. It's the embrace of the wildness, although it's an impersonal embrace, right? It's the authenticity of confronting both the pleasant and the challenging facets of whatever this is. Life is not just about joy or bliss or happiness or trying to, it also encompasses the ugly, the pain, the sadness, the fear, the anger, even the idea that I don't like this life is also what is. Even the embrace of that seeming darkness is also what is. Even the pain is also what is. But the suffering is trying to avoid the pleasant, the unpleasant, and preferring the pleasant, because it can appear as whatever it is. And again, this moment changes. It's a flow of moments that's infinitely, intricately connected, not anything separate. So the moment of peace is the same as the moment of darkness, of pain. So it's not about even letting down your guard, because even the letting down of guard or not letting down of guard is also it. It's the impersonal embrace of everything that appears. Everything. I used to get so caught up in my ideas about what is shameful, what is sinful, what is wrong, what my flaws are. I did not want to face it. I hated it, right? I hated it because I was caught up in the idea of the pleasant, the bliss. There's no one that's got your back, but that's okay, because everything is already at peace, no matter what. Everything is already at peace. So it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you do. Everything is irrelevant. So the irrelevance of what your fear is the freedom of what you are that you can't comprehend. We'll talk. I got your message, and we'll talk more. Maybe at around 5 or something. But how to surrender to what is when the experience of what is awful? It's not about surrendering. It's not about accepting. It's the seeming embrace. It's the being at peace with whatever, even if you accept or not surrender, it's the acceptance of whatever seems to arise, right? Because there is this idea that if you surrender, everything will be okay. But truth be told, you know what I'm saying? Surrendering is something that you think that you're doing. And the surrender can be, you know, can be quite devastating. So it's the never-ending embrace of whatever seems to appear. Surrender or no surrender, this or not this. And just seeing that there's no one choosing to do it, right? It's just what is, whatever seems to appear. Basically saying that's it too. That's it. So whatever seems to appear is it. But if we have no choice, it seems, okay, sorry. So if we have no choice, it seems we are powerless to have any experience other than what we are having. Is an acceptance a choice? Let me read it again. If we have no choice, it seems we are powerless to have any experience other than what we're having. The experiencer is also just another illusion, right? So there's no you having, it's just appearances that seems to appear. So trying to think that you have a choice of the experiences that is happening creates this diversion that if you only did this or that, this would have a different outcome. This is kind of like being at flow with whatever seems to appear, because there's no choice in it. So when there's no resistance, it's kind of like swimming upstream when there's no acceptance of what's happening, and it's more difficult, right? But when there is a constant, just whatever seems to be appearing as what is, then there is a seeming resignation, not by anyone, but everything becomes impersonal. At the same time, everything becomes whole. Thank you so much for this. I've been in my cave with fluent thoughts for spinning. This meeting brought this unknown back. Thank you. We'll talk again soon, Stan. Yeah. Sorry for the confusion about the schedule earlier. Well, thank you so much, everyone. It's been so beautiful just talking. The holidays is here. Happy New Year.